Welcome back to another Fortnite video. This one's all about everything you need to know in Chapter 5, Season 2. So let's go. So we now have 4 new mythic bosses, as well as 4 new weapons and 4 new medallions. They no longer heal you shield over time. Now each medallion gives you a special ability. So you'll see here that Ares medallion increases ranged weapons damage. So the Warforged AR only does 31 damage normally, and the DMR does 75. But when I have the Medallion, the AR does 34 damage, and the DMR now does 79 damage. When you have Zeus's Medallion equipped, you can run faster when sprinting and jump higher while sprinting. You'll see the yellow glow around me. That's how you know it's active, and also you're immune to fall damage. Now, if you have Cerberus's Medallion, you'll get this air dash move you can move, but also if you're in the underworld biome, anytime you go into one of the green lakes, you'll get 3 charges of the air dash that you can use by just simply hitting your jump button twice. But once you use them, they are gone until you jump in the lake again, unless you have Cerberus's Medallion. In that case, they will recharge over time. Hades' Medallion gives you Siphon, so whenever you eliminate an opponent, you will gain 50 health or 50 shield. The medallions will also still give away your location on the minimap, and now when you go to one of these mythic locations with the bosses, there won't be guards or anything or any vaults there anymore, and you'll actually have to go find the statue in the middle of the POI in order to challenge the boss to make them appear. The bosses also now take longer to defeat because you have to fight them in kind of waves. So like they'll summon a bunch of enemies for 1 or 2 waves, and then you'll have to fight them, or they will get knocked and then summon enemies and then get back up and you have to fight them again. This makes the fights much more time consuming than in the previous chapter, so you need to be more worried about third parties than before. Once you defeat the boss, they will drop their medallion as well as their mythic weapons. Cerberus drops a Gatekeeper shotgun, Zeus drops the Huntress DMR, Hades drops the Harbinger SMG, and Ares drops the Warforged Assault Rifle. If you have difficulty winning at one of these new mythic POIs and defeating the bosses, I would recommend starting with Cerberus, as he is the easiest one to defeat in my opinion. You can find him at Grimm's Gate in the underworld. You're gonna get to see the mythic Gatekeeper shotgun in action in a couple seconds here. This thing packs quite the punch and is a pretty nice shotgun. You'll see the rest of the weapons later on in this video. We also have 2 more new items that you can find around the map and in special chests. One is Zeus's Thunderbolt mythic, and the other is the Wings of Icarus, which is a mobility item. Now, both these items have got mixed reviews. So the Thunderbolt can be very powerful, but also I don't really think it's very good, especially in zero build. As you're going to see here, you're stuck in that animation, and a lot of times you will just get killed while you're doing it and won't even get it off. And a lot of people seem to get killed by this a lot, but if you use those dashes from the underworld, you can easily just dash sideways instead of forward to avoid it, or you can also use a shockwave to get away. If you have the opponent weak already, you can also just shoot them and you will probably take them out before they ever get to use the attack. Now, another way you can deal with this item is, as you'll see here, I'm driving around a G-Wagon. This guy's already thrown 1 shock, now he's throwing his 2nd shock with lightning bolt, now he's about to hit me with the 3rd one. Look at my health. He's literally done 0 damage to me, and now I know he has no charges left. And I was able just to easily win this game. So start driving around a car if you're a person who really hates this item. If you are using the Thunderbolt to attack, you want to try to make sure that you're catching your enemies off guard. It can also be very good for destroying buildings or destroying cover in zero builds. Now in build mode, this thing completely rips through builds if they are wood or brick, and it also can do damage to enemy players even while they're in builds. Next, we're going to have our first look at the Wings of Icarus mobility item. Now this item comes with 300% usage, but once it's used up, that's it, and that's all you get out of it. But you can carry more than one of them in your inventory. Now as you see here, I was using the air dash to move forward with it, and there's a guy using the lightning bolt, and I easily fried him. Also, that was a new scope, which is thermal scope, which is a 2.1 zoom, and you can also turn the thermal on and off. That scope is a replacement for the other 2-time scope that has now been removed from the game. It is also not very difficult to shoot people out of the sky when they're flying up using the wings. You also notice I was using the new Mystic SMG in one of those clips. The wings are a very good mobility item in order for covering a lot of ground quickly, and they're especially useful in zero builds for making it up to high ground easily, or also you could use the dive attack to make it down from high ground. You'll never have trouble while these are in the game making it over terrain again in zero builds. And another great thing is if you're falling or you slip, like right there I was trying to take a snipe and I slid off, all you have to do is equip the wings and you're now immune to fall damage. The wings are also so good for just getting on top of buildings to get perfect positioning to be able to hit those snipes and have angles on your opponents. But they can put you in danger when you're using them, so you do have to be careful. But they do have another feature where you can do this barrel roll left and right while you're flying, and you can use this to dodge bullets, and it will make you way harder to hit. As you see here, I get shot at, so I go to use the dive attack and jump down, and I end up right beside the guy's hired NPC, and then because of that, I ended up getting sent back to the lobby and lost this game, because I could not see that that was not a real player. So I find that the really best way to use these is to try to not fly really high unless you absolutely have to, and to try to fly lower to the ground whenever possible. It's going to make it harder for people to spot you or to have more angles to shoot you, and it's going to be easier for you to get out of the wings animation and be ready to fight your opponents, as you just seen in that last clip. If you're coming down from high ground, try to get down as quickly as possible, and also always try to scout your surroundings before just flying out in the open. And right here, now you're seeing the DMR in action. It's basically a slow firing semi-auto sniper. And now back to some things that have been added or removed from the game. So the llamas are back, and they're just the old school OG ones that don't run around the map. Again, we still have the train. You can hack the chest on it, and there's a couple little boxes you can check. There was a lot of changes to the vending machines though. Last season there was only healing vending machines, and now this season some of the vending machines are no longer where they used to be, and we have some new ones around, and there's a lot of weapon vending machines, and also the random malfunctioning vending machines are also back. And it also seems like the vending machines are just going to be random, so you can't guarantee that the same kind of vending machine is going to be at the same location every time you play anymore. So now we're going to talk about the changes to the vaults. So there were a bunch of mini vaults around the map where you'd have to kill a guard and then use a key card to get in. Now, a lot of these are still here, but some of them are also now no longer available. And some of them do have more guards than they did in the previous season. The mini vault that was on the yacht, for example, now the door is still there, and you can hear chests are inside, but there's no longer any guards there or a place to put the key guard. I went all the way around this, broke the walls trying to get into it, and you can no longer get into it. If you visit the old vault locations and old mythic boss locations from season 1, the vaults in these locations are now open, but there's usually not very much there. You might be lucky to find a little bit of gold. Sometimes there might be a couple chests and some ammo spawns. There's also no longer mod benches at these locations. But there are now these new bunker vaults around the map. You also won't find any vaults at the new boss locations, and you don't need a medallion to get into a vault anymore like you did last season. But sometimes you'll come across a bunker vault that is all chained up. If you see this, it means that this particular game, this vault will not be opening. So it may not be a good idea to design a loot path or loot run and depend on one of these vaults for getting your loot every game. Now, the one good thing about this is though, is that once third circle hits, these vaults will just automatically open. And you'll see this alarm, you hear sounds going off if you're near one. There'll also be indicators on your map telling you where they are. But one of the bad things is, as you see here, this vault was one of the ones that was open and not chained up, but it was in storm already. So in Chapter 5 Season 2, no one can mod a weapon until at least the third storm circle. But these new vaults are actually very good because they have a lot of the weapon crates inside of them, and they usually have at least 3 rare chests, and look at this giant pile of gold. Holy moly. Like, you get a lot of good loot when you come to one of these, so it's definitely a very good idea to try to get to one if you can. And they also always have a mod bench inside of them. The only other place you can mod a weapon would be on island. And now we do have a couple new additions added to the mod benches. So we lost the 2x scope, and now we have a 2.1x scope that is thermal. But you can also turn the thermal on and off with it. They've added a new underbarrel attachment as well, called the speed foregrip. And what this does, it allows you to move faster while aiming down sights. I'm not too sure how I feel about this attachment yet, because it's almost like you went to your settings and adjusted your aim down sight sensitivity in game, but it's random whenever you pick up a gun that has it on it. If you end up trying this attachment, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Other than that, the rest of the attachments are all the same as the ones we had last season. Now, another new addition to our quest, we have this thing called Shadow Briefing quests now. And you'll find these boxes around the map, and they allow you to choose different quests based off whatever one you find. So there's one here which was to get a supply drop, and it's called a supply drop, and you go get it. Now you can get some good weapons out of here, but they never have modifications, so keep that in mind. Now also, our bounties come the same way now. So there's no longer bounty boards at every single location. There's also another one for finding buried treasure, and one more where it'll spawn in the car and you have to drive it so far in order to get a reward. So if you were a player who liked to grab bounty boards in order to help you find more enemies to fight, there's a lot less of those on the map now. And now one other thing we're going to talk about next is the underground locations with the weapon caches. Now a lot of these still do remain, but some of them have been removed. So ruined reels is now restored reels has been fixed up. So now in the room where there used to be a weapon cache, there's just a couple slurp barrels. Now one of the most notable changes to the map, as kind of secret, was the underground HQ or Jonesy's bunker in the middle of the map near the shipment location. Now it's all just caved in and blocked off at every single entrance, and you can't get down there anymore. You can still see the spray paint saying that that was a way to an underground location, but there's just nothing there now. Makes me wonder if maybe Jonesy or Peely's trapped down there. And next we're going to talk about all the changes to NPCs, followed by all the new map changes. So they've added a whole lot of new NPCs to the map this season, and it looks like now Fortnite's now working more on their storylines, as a lot of them you can talk and they'll have several things and questions you can ask them about different characters or different organizations within the game, which is kind of interesting if that's something you're interested in and want to read up on the lore. And like always, of course, sometimes the NPCs can also sell you certain items or you can hire them. So now one of the most notable ones here is going to be Poseidon, as there's no more healing vending machines around the map, as he will sell you chug splashes. And now here's another really cool trick. For the NPCs that you can hire, if you already have an NPC or you just don't want to hire one, and you don't want to fight him later, if someone else hires him, if you end up killing him, he won't be able to be hired by anybody. Also, when you kill an NPC, they do tend to sometimes drop 1 or 2 weapons of blue rarity. So in total, Fortnite added 15 new NPCs which you can talk to around the map. So now here are all their locations here if you want to pause the video. And out of those 15, 8 of them are hireable NPCs. 2 of each type. Medic, Scout Specialist, Heavy Specialist, and Supply Specialist. They can sell you a variety of different things, from purple rarity weapons, everything from sniper rifles to shotguns to the new assault rifles. They also can sell you shockwaves or healing items. They can also sell you a rift, and 2 of them also sell the Wings of Icarus for only 300 gold. The Scout Specialists are now working again, and they will actually scan enemy players for you. Also notably, the medics might be really good now as there's less healing items on the map. And also, I'm pretty sure I had the Supply Specialist the other day randomly drop me chug splashes. So do keep that in mind if you're short on heals. Now we're heading to the very end of this video here, and the very last part is just going to be going over the map changes and what has changed. So, as I said earlier, the Underworld has been added, and the Olympias biomes, as well as Ruined Reels has been restored, so now it's no longer all broken and dilapidated, falling apart. So we did lose Hazy Hillside and Ritzy Riviera. So we're just in replay mode here, and like the Olympus biomes look absolutely awesome. So is the underworld. Like, I'm really actually liking this part of the map. I think it's probably some of the coolest map updates we've had in a very long time. Do let me know what you think in the comments down below. I don't understand why, though, Ruined Reels gets repaired after, a giant Titan's hand comes out of the ground and Pandora's box gets opened and all these curses get released of the Fortnite universe. Like, it's just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, you figure that in Season 1, it would have made more sense if we didn't have Ruined Reels and we would have had the restored version first, and then after the Titan hand came up, it got destroyed. But that's just what I think anyway. But that'll be it for this video. I'm just going to let this replay mode play out from here on out. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you found this video interesting, entertaining, or helpful. Do stay tuned in my channel, as I will have more Fortnite tutorial videos for the new chapter, or new season rather, coming out soon. Drop spots, how to fight bosses, and maybe weapon mods. I don't know yet. But more videos will be coming out soon. But I'm Big Papa Smurf 187. I'm out. Bye for now. Have fun gaming. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.